Will you ever go enhanced? What is going on? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. So in today's video, I'm just going to do a bit of a sit down Q&A video, a bit of change of scenery. I'm sitting here at the gym filming this one, so I popped it out on Instagram and yeah, got plenty of questions from you guys, so I appreciate anyone who did send through a question. So without further ado, let's get stuck into things. What made you want to start coaching? I actually like this question because I obviously started competing in 2017 and first competed then. Now, what I didn't do straight after then was think just because I've competed, all of a sudden now I can coach other people. I probably wasn't overly confident in my abilities at that point to be confident enough to know that I can coach other people. Whereas I know a lot of people in this space go and tend to, try and coach other people after doing one show. Whereas that wasn't what I wanted to do. So I built up my knowledge, I built up my skills. Now I've done over, what have I done? I've done 13 shows myself, and I know that I know a hell of a lot more than, let's say, first-time competitors. So this is probably one of the main reasons that I wanted to get into things, because I can see that there's a lot of misinformation out there, or lack there of information for first-time competitors. I actually spoke to a guy last night, a bit of a consult call on his prep, and I sort of guided him through and gave him a few pointers. And there's so many things that I probably take for granted and think, hey, I just know those things, but first-time competitors don't know those kind of things. So that reassurance that I can provide to guys, and I know that I can get results with people, like that's the reality. I know I can see someone's problem, I can identify them, and I know how to fix them. So that confidence in myself and self-belief, that was probably the main thing, self-belief. I just didn't think that I could do that. Being able to prep Lockie to his first show in 2023 gave me so much confidence, knowing that not only could I prep myself to show, which I did do in 2021 and 2019 for that matter, I was able to do that with someone else. So that gave me a huge amount of confidence to be able to go out there and put myself out there a hell of a lot more on social media and advertise myself as a contest prep coach. What is your training split right now? Now, pretty basic. I probably said this in previous Q&As. Push, pull, off, legs, off, repeat. And I've been doing this split for the better part of 4 or 5 years, and it works well. I think it's a pretty good one for people across the board, particularly people or individuals who don't have a specific weakness in their body. So all whilst I might have weaknesses and strengths in my physique, that's obviously natural, but I want to try and make sure that the volume across the board is evenly spread. So for example, I might have a weakness in my quads or my hamstrings, but I don't actually have the recovery capabilities to be increasing the volume there. So obviously that's just another topic and side topic on, if you do have weaknesses, how do you improve them? And that probably main thing is execution of the movements that you do for that particular body part, as opposed to just ramping up the volume, which is what often people do right out the gate. You might have lagging legs, and then all of a sudden they're training legs 3 times a week, and it's like you can't recover from that, and your execution is probably pretty terrible, to say the least. Anyway, my training split, and then if there's certain things that I want to bring up, for example, I want to, and have done so for the better part of 2 or 3 years, is doing additional delt volume, because it can recover from that on a leg day. So at the start of every leg session, as you know, delt top-up work, I do lateral raises. 1 set, there's a double rest pause cluster set, so I hit failure point 3 times across 1 set. Only takes 5 minutes, doesn't fatigue me for the rest of the leg session, and I'm able to get a bit more volume there. So I think, and I contribute that to a lot of my side delt improvements over the past couple of years. How to handle cravings during a prep. So it's a tough one, I'll say that, and I even said this to the guy that I was on the consult call with last night. It's actually not even the hunger that gets to me during a prep, it's the energy levels. So in terms of cravings, the fact that I have my meals set out and I know what I'm eating day to day, all whilst, somewhat of a variety within, protein sources, carbohydrate sources, fat sources, that kind of thing, it's fixed, it's known. So I almost find that in a prep it's easier, because there's no swaying and there's no varying from that. Your diet is your diet, you're not cheating whatsoever, there's just no room for error. Whereas in the off season, it's like, oh, well, does it really matter if I have this or have that? So you've got your goal in mind being the prep, so you've got such a time frame focus that, there's no wavering from that. You stick to your diet and you continue based on that. So how do you handle cravings? There's many things to do. So making sure that the meals that you do eat are, you know, enjoyable to say the least, as well as flavoursome, all whilst knowing that, you know, everything that you then can put on your food has some form of calories. So making sure that that, you know, fits within your realm of your calorie goal, as well as digestion. You have that in focus as well. So of course there's things like zero sugar beverages and things like that, which can be utilised, you know, chewing gums and things like that, but all whilst in moderation, to say the least. So it can't be something that you're having, you know, 6 cans of sugar-free drink and a couple Monsters a day and a whole tub of chewing gum, a whole packet of chewing gum. That's going to cause digestive distress. So yeah, definitely can't be something that you rely on, but it's a tool to utilise within your prep. I just had another thought on that about cravings. So many people get caught into the trap of sitting on social media, scrolling, and your For You page gets filled. It gets filled with donuts, burgers, pizzas, all of that. We've all been there, haven't we? My pro tip would be to either unfollow or hide or mute or whatever you call it on Instagram, any pages that you might follow, and really avoid your For You page and scrolling, or even on TikTok for that matter, of that kind of content, because it's a slippery slope. We don't want that to be consuming our mind, because that's going to make things worse. If you're not privy to that content, well, you're not going to be thinking about it. But if you're constantly getting burgers, milkshakes, donuts, cookies in your For You page, of course you're going to crave that. It's only natural, isn't it? So yeah, try and stray away from that. And equally, towards the back end of prep, do not, and I say repeat, do not stock up on, you know, foods and that kind of thing, because that's the worst thing that you can do. And have a drawer full of chocolates. We've all been there. I've done that in a prep. So please don't do that. And it's the worst thing you can do to binge post show, is to have all of that food in your house. You do not want that. That's just a whole other topic, is how do you handle the post-comp period. So if you do want to know a bit more about that, comment down below, and I'll definitely prepare a video and film a video just discussing all of that. Will you ever go enhanced? Now, this question comes up so frequently in my Q&As, people that I speak to when I'm at shows, natural bodybuilding shows. Hey, will you ever go enhanced? Or people that I speak to at the gym. I'm obviously at that point now where I'm a natural pro bodybuilder, AMB, NBA. I'm so entrenched in natural bodybuilding. I want to promote the heck out of natural bodybuilding. I'm a judge, AMB. I'm such a huge advocate for it. No, the answer is no, I will never go enhanced. Strictly speaking, I don't see any reason to go enhanced. I've competed naturally in natural federations. I've done super well, and I don't have any interest in going to compete enhanced. Not saying I'll never go compete in an enhanced federation, but I would be natural if I was to do so. So as far as enhanced, that's I think that ship sailed for me. I see how much progress I can make and have made over these years. And as I sort of hit my prime as a natural pro bodybuilder, as a natural bodybuilder, in my sort of, as I delve into the 30s, mid-30s and that kind of thing, that's where most of your pro natural bodybuilders hit their peak. So I'm coming up to my peak, and I've still got so much runway, and I see the progress I've been able to make over the past, let's say, 3, 4, 5 years, and it's just night and day. And it's like, what's going to happen next time when I step on stage, you know, in 3 years' time or 4 years' time or 2 years' time? I don't know when that's going to be. So no, I think that ship sailed. The enhanced life, it's just not for me. How do you deal with comparisons on social media? Now, this is a great question, particularly for people in a contest prep. You know, comparison is a thief of joy. It was something that, you know, Tom Rodriguez and myself spoke about at the A&B workshop a couple weeks back, in that, you know, try and avoid following people on social media and comparing yourself to them. You know, it's the worst thing you can do, because constantly you'll be looking at them and saying, oh, look, they look leaner. But then the reality is they've taken photos in the gym, in natural lighting, and it's going to they're obviously only going to put up the best physique shots, aren't they? And you're looking at yourself and like, I don't look like that, and then you're comparing yourself. I came to learn in my last contest prep was that refrain from holding judgment on someone's physique until you see them on stage. So many people look 10 times better on social media than they do on stage. Let the stage do the talking. Wait till you get on stage, see how they look. If they look great on stage, well then they've got an amazing physique. But if they don't, well, what they put out on social media is kind of meaningless if it's just on social media and they look good there. If they can't bring it to stage, well, you know, that's a different story. So I'd almost go as far as to say mute your various pages or people that you think that might be competing. Maybe even mute the federation so you don't see the reposts of all the people's physiques along the journey, and just focus on your lane, because the reality is you seeing a photo of someone else on social media shouldn't change your plans, your prep or anything like that. Focus on what you can control, and that's it. Don't focus on someone else having a refeed, someone else doing no cardio. Focus on what you can do, and regardless of what anyone else do, stay in your lane. What do I look for in an ideal client? So, accountability, consistency, and honesty are huge ones for me. I don't care if you've gone out and binged on the weekend. I don't care if you've missed some training sessions. I don't care if you've done something that's straight away from the plan. I need to know. I need to know, because if you don't tell me, well then I think you've done everything on the plan, and then we might be making adjustments, but you still haven't followed the plan the same in the first place. So, what that looks like for me is accountability. Tell me exactly what's happened. If you've stuffed up, tell me. If you followed the plan to a T, tell me. Provide honest, open feedback in a timely manner. Because the reality is, the more information that I'm given, the better ability I can to make decisions. What you monitor and track, that's all that I've got to go by. I can't be, reading your mind and that kind of thing throughout, your weekly check-ins and that kind of thing. I need a client to be giving me everything. Put it out on the plate and tell me, and be super honest with where things are at. I also think with an ideal client, you need to be all in. You need to be training hard. You need to be following the plan. Yes, while it's within the realms, because we've prepared a plan that is customizable to you and going to fit your schedule from a training, nutrition perspective. I need you to put your 100% into it if you're a client of mine, because that's how we get results. I'm putting my time and effort into you, trying to coach you through this. I've spent hours putting together your programming, making sure it's tailored to you. So the least you can do is show me the respect of checking in on time, giving it your 100% every time you go into the gym, and just tracking everything and being accountable to that. So, I'm all ears. So if you are interested in coaching, I've got definitely a few spots available. If you're looking to step on stage for the first time, please let me know. I'm taking on first-time competitors. My books are filling up rather quickly for Season A 2026, which is kind of exciting to think that I've got several competitors competing then. So if you are interested, please send me a message, and I'd love to help you out. It's my passion. I friggin' love it, and bigger and better things to come. To round out, a few quick-fire questions to round out this Q&A. What's your go-to dirty meal post-show, or just post-show meal? So, well, funny that, because my only quote-unquote post-show meal was after WNBF Worlds in Boston. Me and Olivia went to Whole Foods. We had a nice steak from Whole Foods. We got some nice salads and veggies, got some pineapple. I think I had a big bowl of oats and things like that, but it was nothing crazy. Obviously, you know what happened after that in New York for a couple of weeks and whatnot, so I saved myself. Plenty of pizzas, plenty of burgers. Still haven't had much sushi, but that's also something that I do love as a post-show. I had that probably 2019, probably 2021 as well, as a post-show meal as well. Who inspires you the most in the natural bodybuilding scene? I'll tell you what, my coach, AJ Morris, and I think he inspires a hell of a lot of people, not only just from what he's done on stage, but off stage, his coaching, his training, everything like that. And the way that he's approached things, he's now promoting shows and running shows. His whole MBW site, like the brand that he's created behind MBW, is unbelievable. So the inspiration that I get from him is just amazing. So it'd probably be AJ. Like, I followed him for years and years before I even started coaching him, and it was an absolute honor to meet him in Boston last year at Worlds. Incredible experience for him to look at me in person, all whilst, we've been working together for years, but the fact that he was able to see me in person, see how I'd looked, fix things in my posing, and just have that peak week with him, something I'll never forget. Favorite gym equipment you couldn't live without? I go through this all the time, and I feel like I've answered this in other Q&As, whether it's Cybex, whether it's Prime, Flex Fitness, Nautilus, like Hammer Strength, of course, have some good kit. Those are probably the main ones. I'm probably forgetting some. Panada's not too bad. Rogers is quite good, but not in all gyms. Life Fitness, of course, there's some good kit, but yeah, there's lots of range. So, gym coming at some point, I don't know. I'd love that. That would be a dream of mine, to open a gym one day and get equipment. But it's not easy to get gym equipment in Australia. You know, you either pay an exorbitant amount to get them from overseas and ship them in, or you're not actually getting all the like kit that you really want. So a lot of this equipment that I've referenced, you know, whether it's Cybex or Flex or Strive or anything like that, a lot of them aren't even made anymore. To be truthful, they're out of production. All right, we'll finish on this. What's the one thing you always bring to the gym? My intra workout. My intra workout with my highly branched cyclic dextrin, my EAs, my creatine, my electrolytes. Wouldn't come to the gym without it. Gets me through my workouts, and something that I'm a huge advocate for. Intra workout, super, super key. So if you do want to know more about intra workout and how that can help you train, send me a message or even let me know down below, and I can film a video explaining all of that. Given I'm currently filming this effectively in the middle of the gym is packed because it's a public holiday and it's in the middle of the day. So I think that deserves a like. And obviously a comment if there's something else you want to see. If you've got any questions, I'd love your feedback. And please subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest YouTube videos. There'll be a new video every Sunday, 5 p.m, like there has done so since the start of 2024. I'm not missing a beat here. Until next time, catch you later.